we're in the first Sunday of Advent. It's very interesting that we are starting the liturgical year with the first Sunday of Advent, and yet the liturgy wants us to focus or think about the end time when during the second coming of Jesus. No? Are we prepared for that? Very interesting. To begin to start the liturgical year, the church wants us to think about the end of time. And really, what for? Maybe just to let us know, make us think that what is important really is to think beyond what we have here and think about the purpose or the goal of God for all of us. Again, He wants to share with us His life in His kingdom, but we have to learn to live that life here in this world. And so, you have any questions or
I have an observation. This comes to my mind. If one is doing the right thing, no matter how simple it is, at the time, and the second time Jesus Christ will come, it will be a day with joy. So when before I know Jesus Christ, I was scared about when I hear the second time Jesus will come. I say, oh, wait a minute, I'm not living according what God wants, so I'm afraid. But now I try to do according what God says. So now, when I hear the second time Jesus Christ will come, it will be a day of joy because I know I live in according what Jesus teaches how to live life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In fact, the first Christians were really waiting for the second coming of Jesus because they thought that it would happen, during that time of Jesus. But of course, it did not happen then. But because again, what is the meaning of the second coming of Jesus? As we heard from the preface of the Christ the King, He is going to present to God our Father the redeemed mankind. The redeemed mankind, the people who were reconciled with Him, and He would present them to God our Father as the fruit of His work. And so, what Christ is going to do is gather the people who have learned how to live God's life and then present them to God. That's the purpose of the second coming. So that He will give us back to God and offer us to God and say, these are the people who learn how to live your life, and He will take us with Him to the kingdom of heaven. And those who have not, maybe they will, I don't know where they're going to go, but certainly not into the kingdom of heaven. And so, really, that's why the first Christians were really waiting for the second coming of Jesus, because of this understanding that they have. And because, as we have said before, they live their daily life with Jesus, walking with Him. The second coming of Jesus would signal that what they're waiting for will become a reality. That's why they could not wait for the second coming, because they're looking forward to that union with God, to living that life with God in His kingdom without end. That's the reason. Now, for now, those of you who are learning or walking with Jesus, maybe we're not going to be afraid also, and then maybe look forward to the time when you are going to be with Him in His kingdom, because you know how to live His life here, and you know what's waiting for you in His kingdom. The life of peace, joy without end. So that's the reason for that. And again, so the church wants us to remember this. The end time, now, and the end time. And then maybe learn how to do it, how to live His life, to live the life of Jesus, who is the way, the truth, and the life. That's the thing. And then what kind of preparation? Simply that, to prepare for the coming simply means to let us live, what we know, what we have learned, And then when Christ comes, then he will be ready to continue to live it. So continue to live it. So it's not one thing here, another thing over there. It's a continuation. We will continue to live more perfectly. Here we're struggling, but over there will be just perfect 100% joy, happiness. It's very logical, no? It explains very well. So entonces, los primeros cristianos estaban esperando la segunda venida de Cristo, porque esto es el momento cuando se realizará lo que estaban anhelando, ¿no? Vivir sin problema perfectamente la vida de Cristo en el cielo. Entonces se va esperando. Ahora los que están viviendo, caminando con Cristo ahora, ya sabemos también, estamos anhelando a convivir con Él por la eternidad. Esta vida de paz y gozo que estamos gozando ahora, lo que estamos caminando con Cristo, ya sabemos, ¿no? Entonces no hay miedo ni nada. Prepararse significa vivir la vida ahora que viviremos por la eternidad, ¿no? Entonces, como hemos dicho, la iglesia es una escuela, ¿no? En donde vamos a aprender a vivir la vida de Dios. Vida de Dios. ¿Otro punto?
No, precisamente era lo que iba a comentarle, que ya hemos hablado mucho que esta vida es la continuidad, es pues la vida que viene es la continuidad de esta vida que estamos viviendo. Entonces es bien importante empezar hoy, desde hoy, vivir esta vida de acuerdo al plan que Dios tiene para nosotros, para ser como Él. Entonces, el estar preparados es precisamente eso, estar viviendo ya desde este momento la vida.
Yeah. Y también como es, as he said, no, it's really very important to live that life now, here, because it's the continuation of our life, here in this world. It's very important for really to let the children understand this also. To let them understand this, because then talking about children, and I hope parents will understand, there's a big difference between us and the animal world. The animals are living their life according to their instincts, ¿no? Los animales están viviendo su vida de acuerdo con su instinto, ¿no? Programado por la naturaleza. Nosotros no tenemos el instinto porque nuestro cuerpo físico, pero también no debemos que realmente aprender a vivir la finalidad de nuestra vida como seres humanos. Esto lo sabemos por nuestros instintos. Deben que aprender, especialmente la vida de Dios, que es muy diferente que la vida de nosotros. Los valores a veces están opuestos, ¿no? Entonces deben que enseñarle a los niños a entender esto, ¿no? Porque mire, si los niños hagan lo que que quieren hacer, no tienen instinto muy confundido, porque no están programados los instintos de nosotros como los animales. Ahora deben que entender lo que deben que hacer los niños. Si no, por no programado por el instinto y por no saber la verdad de Dios, ¿a dónde van los niños? Perdidos. Hasta ustedes los padres ya saben esto. Cuando sean grandes, jóvenes, sus niños, sus hijos, no quieren obedecer a ustedes. Ellos quieren hacer lo que quieren. Es lo que es triste, porque los padres no reconocen esto. Porque dejemos los niños hacer lo que quieren. ¿Qué preparación va a tener ellos? Si creemos en lo que creemos como católicos, ¿qué preparación tienen los niños para convivir con Dios por la eternidad? Estamos hablando de la salvación de sus hijos. We're talking about the salvation of your children. It's very important to understand the difference between us and the animal world. The animals are governed by their instincts, by nature, their program. We have our instincts for survival, for living our life, but not clearly as the animals programmed by their instinct. We do not know what to do with life. It takes us how many years to learn? The animals, as soon as they're born, they know how to walk, they know what to do. They're guided by their parents. But we, 9 months in the womb, and then to grow from 1 year old to be a toddler, to be in a grade school, high school, takes us how many years to learn about life? That's why it's very important for us to know the purpose of life. Otherwise, not governed by instinct, 100%, not knowing what to do, most of us became adults with no purpose in life. And that's a sad thing about it. So I hope we can learn, we can understand this, no? And the answer to our problems really are the solutions from God, from Jesus Himself. So how can we help our children understand this? No? So any other point? ¿Algunos puntos, preguntas, dudas?
Bueno, yo tengo una, precisamente en lo, de prepararnos. Hablaba ayer con una señora y decía, este mes hay que prepararnos. Dije, yo creo que no es así, es vivir. Y dice, bueno, yo no entiendo eso. ¿Qué es vivir si no es vivir ya la vida de Dios? Es lo que estamos haciendo, ¿no? Rezar cada día el rosario, mis oraciones. Ese es vivir la vida de Dios. Dije, no señora, dije, vivir la vida de Dios es diferente. Y yo creo que ahorita es el momento de poder ayudar a estas personas que no saben qué es vivir la vida de Dios. Es muy diferente al hacer cosas, como ya hemos hablado. Y entonces esta es la parte donde mucha gente está confundida. No le encuentra sentido qué es vivir la vida de Dios. Solamente hacer cosas prácticas y no es vivir la vida de Dios.
Bueno, okay. What April is saying is that there's a lady he talked with the other day, was saying that she was living the life of God, but it's not a question of praying, no. But remember this: the scenery or the what will happen at the end of time, the second coming of Jesus. He would gather all of us before all the world, and He would separate the sheep from the goats. Who are the sheep? Those who have lived their lives sharing their good things with the world, those who are needy, those who are poor, those who are and so living the life of joy and peace with Jesus. And the goats were, some of them would complain, no, we went with you, we prayed with you, and all these things. And the question is not about praying, it's not a question about doing all this, reading even the Bible with the prayer books. It's a question of living the life of love of God, of forgiving, understanding people. And that will be the life that we need to live now. Understand it. Remember what we have said. Our instincts does not govern us 100%. Now we feel that the need for this, the need for food, the need for survival, that's instinct because of our physical body. But to kind of live a spiritual life, live an immortal life, that we have to learn. We have to learn. And then, so if we do not learn how to do that, our survival skills will be simply based on the survival of the physical body. And the example that came to my mind, a desperate person who wants to survive, to live, would jump from 36-story high building to save his life, or maybe desperation. Or a dying person would hold on to a knife just to save his life, the knife that would kill the person, because we do not have any clear understanding of how to survive. And this is the sad thing about our human life, not knowing what to do when we have problems, when we have obstacles facing us. Estoy hablando de que nosotros, regresando otra vez, que no tenemos instintos que van a manejar nuestra vida, como los animales. No tenemos el sentido de comer para sobrevivir, que no queremos problemas en la vida. Eso es por instinto, por nuestro cuerpo físico. Pero, ¿qué pasará cuando esta cuestión de sobrevivir? Hay personas que están hasta agarrando las, ¿no? ¿Cómo se llama ese knives? Los armas, ¿no? con muy filo.
Una navaja.
La baja, hasta la baja para salvar la vida. Hay personas que van a brincar de las ventanas de 36 pisos para salvar la vida. Porque no sabemos cómo sobrevivir. Entonces, pues es muy importante que sepamos esto que nos va a ayudar a vivir la vida inmortal. ¿Ah? Porque si no sabemos esto, queremos salvar nuestra vida física, pero muchas veces por querer salvar nuestra vida física estamos cayendo a la trampa de la muerte realmente. Tienen que entender esto, hermanos, tienen que entender. ¿Ah? Y siempre decimos en la Biblia, el Espíritu da vida, el Espíritu. Si no intentemos del Espíritu de Dios, ¿qué vida viviremos? ¿Qué clase de vida? We read in the Bible, the Spirit gives life, but if we do not know how to live the life of the spiritual life, what kind of life are we going to have? We're going to be lost. And again, it's not that it's the fault of us, it's the fault of the one directing our lives as Catholics, as Christians. So, how do we resolve this thing? ¿No? No es la culpa de los laicos, no es la culpa de los que están arriba. ¿No? ¿Cómo vamos a enseñar esto? Hacernos entender realmente la finalidad de nuestra vida. Debemos capacitarnos a nosotros para que podamos sobrevivir la vida aquí en este mundo con seguridad, con confianza, con esperanza. ¿Cómo? ¿Me preguntas, dudas? ¿No? ¿Mamá?
Yo tengo una observación cuando hablamos de una relación personal con Jesús. Yo creo que la mayoría de nosotros está basada, como ustedes decían, en oraciones, en libros, en cosas, ¿no? Pero la realidad es que Jesús es, en realidad, su estado es espiritual. Entonces, si no aprendemos a eso, a relacionarnos con Jesús espiritualmente, se mantendrá como en puras cosas que hacemos simplemente de un libro o de oraciones escritas, ¿no?
No, en primer lugar, la mayoría de los católicos realmente ni conocemos a Cristo. La mayoría no conocemos a Cristo. Ahora, relacionar con una persona que conocemos es imposible. Es imposible, ¿no? Entonces, no van a entender nada de relación. ¿No? Relación espiritual con una persona que no conocemos. Hay obstáculos, hay barreras. Deben realmente entender bien esto. ¿Quién es Jesucristo? ¿Ah? ¿Quién es? ¿Y cómo va a tener relación personal? Ahora, la cuestión de personal. Personal es porque cada uno tenemos nuestra preocupación. ¿Ah? Entonces, personal porque la atención de Dios es para la persona de acuerdo con su necesidad. Lo muy importante, si conocemos a Cristo como nuestro Dios, como Señor, hermano ¿no? y Mesías de nuestra vida, el propósito de Él, suyo, es para ayudarnos con nuestros problemas de la vida, para que podamos caminar con Él con confianza, para que vivamos la vida de Él, de Jesucristo. Entonces, primero, ¿quién es Jesucristo para los católicos? ¿Quién es? ¿No? ¿Quién es Jesucristo? Y personal, porque Él quiere ayudarme a mí con mis problemas personales, espiritual, ¿no? Y hasta físico, hasta muchas cosas. De mí, porque está interesado en mí como una persona. Jesucristo está interesado a mí como una persona. Pero no puedo relacionar con Él sin conocerlo. No puedo relacionar con Él sin no aprendo a comunicar con Él como es ahora, un ser espiritual, ¿no? A través del Espíritu Santo. Entonces, so the thing is, the question of Felipe is how do we can have this personal relationship with Jesus? I answered him saying that most Catholics really do not even know Jesus. They know more the Virgin Mary, but not Jesus. Now, how can they have a personal relationship with someone they do not know? Then second, and also it's personal because each one of us have our own baggage to carry. And so we do not know what our problems are. We know but we do not even know what to do with them. So it's personal because Jesus wants to help us personally, and the solution according to our personal needs. But how can we communicate with Him when we do not even know how to relate with Him in a spiritual way, because He now exists, pure spirit, glorified body, and the one who communicates with us now in Jesus is the Holy Spirit. So if we have no idea of Jesus and we do not know how to relate with Him in a spiritual way, personal relationship has no meaning at all. It's really a very, very strange term for them. Este término relación personal con Cristo es una idea muy ajena de nosotros, porque no sabemos ni conocemos a Cristo, no sabemos que la vida espiritual, no sabemos que es relacional en una manera personal o espiritual. Es el problema, ¿no? Okay. Any more questions? Anyway, so the best way to prepare for the coming of Jesus, when He will separate the goats from the sheep, is to really learn how to live the life of Jesus, so that when He comes, He will take us to heaven, because He said. So it's not a question of praying, because in the gospel today, it talks about two people working in the fields. One will be taken and one will remain. Two women who will be milling grains. One will be taken up and the other one will remain. So it's not a question of what are you doing when He comes. It's a question of what's happening inside you when He comes. So we're talking about the spiritual side of the person. It's not about what you're doing physically. I hope you see that. Entonces, cuando en la segunda venida de Cristo, no está hablando de hacer orar. Por ejemplo, en el Evangelio de hoy estaba hablando de dos hombres trabajando en el campo. Uno se va a llevar, el otro se quedará. Dos mujeres que haciendo moliendo granos. Una se va, la otra se quedará. Entonces, las cosas que estamos haciendo, nuestra cuestión de que estamos orando cuando venga Él, estamos hablando de el estado del alma, del espíritu de la persona. Vamos a hacer la misma cosa con otra persona, pero si la otra no está lista para ir con Cristo, se quedará. Nosotros listas con Él. No es la cuestión de orar, es la cuestión de tener la disposición a vivir la vida con Dios por eternidad. Esto es una realidad espiritual que debemos que aprender a vivir ahora en este mundo. And so, if we do not have any more questions, now please let us learn about this, okay? The second coming of Jesus is the point of this gospel today, the liturgy today, that signals the end of time, when Jesus will come to gather all the people who have learned to live God's life and present all of them to God our Father. These are the people, who were washed clean by the blood of the Lamb, who are now ready to live their lives with God, with you, God our Father, for all eternity. And so if you have any questions about what our discussion, please let us know. Again, you can say either if you like it, it will also help us to continue what we're doing. And just get a like button so that you will because that's not how we're rated. But we want to help you. We want to improve our program. So please, okay, thank you for joining us tonight.